Welcome to Home Cinema and Tech Review. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing Blitzwolf V8. This might be looking a small projector, and it is actually a small projector. I'm holding it like this. As you can see, this is a palm of my hand, and it looks like this. But basically, this is a Full HD projector from Blitzwolf called model V8. Let me just show you the box. This is BW V8, it says on the box. So this projector has sent me by Banggood and probably from Blitzwolf, and it's a kind of like a sponsored video, but as always, my opinions are my own and it's not going to change the way I look at the products. So what I'm going to do in this review, I'm going to be taking a good look at with different sections like box content, what's inside, physical capabilities, build quality, and then I'm going to dive deep and show you the full menu, and I'm going to show you the size, different size of images, and of course tell you a bit about the throw ratio and picture quality, overall sharpness, image equality, whatnot. So I'm going to be testing all these things in this test, but it's going to be a fast-paced test for me because I don't have a lot of time this week. But basically you're going to get a clear idea if you ever wanted to purchase something like this. In the description of this video, you're going to find a link if you want to purchase this from a Banggood, but keep that in mind. You're going to get a conclusion part of this video, but this is a less than $100 projector. So this is a low price projector. So we're going to be looking at things for the price range of this device. And I will tell you all my opinions in the end of this video. By the way, this video will be in sections. So if you want to skip the parts, you can skip it, but I suggest not to because YouTube don't like to be videos to be skipped. And I see you because I have analytics, and if you skip, well, it's just dropping down the contents and views. So please subscribe and like the videos as much as you can, because if you don't, this channel goes a little less than it should be. Like, I'm creating a lot of content, giving a lot of effort, and right now this is 12 late at night and I'm just starting to review this product. Although I've used it a couple of days, but I'm going to be shooting this review. So let's dive into the Blitzwolf V8 and take a good look at this small Full HD projector on the budget. Is it any good? In this part of the video, I will give you my full conclusion about Blitzwolf V8. I know you were not expecting this, but my microphone ran out of battery in the middle of the review, so I made a voiceover, and you're going to watch the review with a voiceover. Sorry about that. This video, probably one of the last long videos that I'm about to shoot. I will probably create a little bit of more prepped, around 20 to 30 minute videos. This video will be a little longer than that. I need to share a lot of stuff. This projector is a price performance projector based on the facts that this is less than $100, $99 I guess, from the link in the description below. Again, I'm going to remind you, Blitzwolf sent me this projector. It will leave with me. So this is kind of like sponsored video, but I'm not getting paid extra. And my opinions are my own as always. So I'm going to share my entire honest opinion about it. I measured everything. I will share the details. You're going to see the positives and negatives and the specs on the screen. So basically this is Android 11 on the declaration, and it is Android device. It works quite fast. My measurements are simple. I calculate the brightness as ANSI lumen volume like I always do. Sorry about that. And my measurements were 251 ANSI lumen, 51.75, like 52. So on the declaration, it says 480 ANSI lumen, but basically in reality 252 plus. When I say plus, I didn't push the brightness because it was 50%, and I didn't push the contrast. I want to get the best picture, not the brightest picture. So probably you will do the same. So in reality, maybe if you push the brightness, you can achieve around 270, that real declaration on the box, because on the box it says 280, but on the declaration, they say 480 ANSI lumen. Everybody does the same thing. They declare probably double the price around this price range of products until 250, maybe $399. Everybody is declaring kind of like single LED projectors, higher values, depending on the brand, of course. So this is the same train. Everybody is on the same train. So nothing different about this. you gotta accept this. It's not something bad about just Blitzwolf. It's information all around. So the latency of this device, when I test it with, you're going to see it probably in the end of the video, with the slow motion video capture, the result was 140 seconds to up top 168 milliseconds. So this is basically not a fast-paced gaming projector, and you can't recommend this much of a latency for gaming. But when I tested with my Xbox Series X, I played casual games, platform games, and like a shoot 'em up games. I didn't have too much of a problem on the choppiness, and I show this inside of the video. You will probably see it in the different sections. I play Tomb Raider and 3D external games, and I also open up like Spider-Man 4K PlayStation 5 screen capture. So it was a video, but basically if you play third-person games with not much of an extreme action around, if you don't rotate the camera too much, like faster way, just regularly run around, this could do the job done. But if you're going to play FPS and low latency and competitive gaming, this is not basically for you. Less than 30 milliseconds, maybe up top 50 milliseconds, it's not usable even for the casual gamers. But I didn't have a choppiness or any kind of bad stuff. So you got to think about it. This is not a gaming projector, but you can use it on the gaming without a hustle if you're not so picky and if you're just a first-time projector user with this device. Design-based, it looks good, and you're going to see the positives and the negatives around the sides in this video as a text, and I'm going to tell you right away. The build quality feels good around the price range, and we got a power supply inside, so we don't have a power break that holds the device back. That's an important topic. If you're going to put it on a tripod, because we have a slot here, you can mount it on a ceiling because it has ability to rotate the picture. So this is a plus if you're going to ceiling mount it and leave it on there. And if you're going to use it on a bookshelf, thin design and compact size of this thing will make it more compatible with a bookshelf like around back of my hand. If you imagine a bookshelf, that'll look good. And you have to place this on a bookshelf or a tripod because it throws the visual just straight away. Many of the LED, single LED budget projectors does that, so they don't project a little higher like the presentation projectors as we used to. So the image goes little low because it's directly projecting like this, okay? So if you want a higher picture, your eye level, you have to put it little above your head, and you have to create a little bit of height for that. For that, you gotta either have a tripod or you gotta find a way to get this thing high, like a probably bookshelf or something like this. Because in the video, you're going to see a table on a small table and then Xbox on this device. That's why I am doing it like this. In the rest of the video, you're going to witness that. Remote control works very fast. Android 11 is good. Even though this device has Android 11 inside, it doesn't have the Google Play and probably it doesn't have the license. It has only App Store, and you're going to witness that inside of the video. With the App Store, you can install apps and you can install APK files from File Manager if you stick your USB thumb drive and use some other apps like MX Player. But built-in VLC player and every kind of thing is inside. I wouldn't probably put my credentials like credit cards and info to this device for the security purposes, for my personal choice. But if you want to use Netflix, Amazon Prime is there included with the Android 11 and with the latest security update. It says February 5, 2022. It was the latest. My $1,500 Xiaomi 4K Ultra Short Throw projector didn't have Android 11. It had Android 9. So, and the Epson LS300 that I got, around $1,600, maybe $2,000 limit, brand new. And that device had Android 11 update just this year. So it's a quite good stuff that you're getting. And it works just like a Linux speed. When I say Linux, some of the Linux projectors has much more speed, like interface. You're going to witness that. Like I hit the button, it in the same time, it just goes around. And when you're hitting, using the keyboard, it's fast. So you go back and forth with the YouTube videos. You're going to witness all this in the real time, in the review section. So I was impressed with the speed of this device. I don't know if they dropped out the little bit of chopping up the Android's unnecessary things, but this is a fast Android device built-in chipset inside. So I think I covered everything. So The image quality you are going to witness, little soft. This is one of the most important part probably. The physical part is covered up. I'm thinking what I'm saying. Basically, the softness around the corners for the price range, less than $100, could be acceptable. You're going to be very happy if you're going to project 80, 85-inch image. It will look good. If you're going to get a little far behind, you can create 100-inch and up top 120-inch, depending on your choice. But image is a little softer because I check a lot of projectors basically. So if you buy something like, let's just say, $200 range, you're going to get maybe 2.5 more sharper image than this device around the edges. So that doesn't mean this device sucks. This device really producing quite good image, but little soft around the corners. So it's not going to be bothering you when you're playing, let's just say, Tomb Raider or any kind of like racing game, except the latency issues. But when you're watching movies, if you connect your Xbox and give it a 4K signal, and I did it in this video, you're going to see very sharp video. So on the videos, if you have ability to connect your console or a 4K dongle to it externally, because built-in can play full HD and very fast, it's enough inside of the package. But if you want to get the best out of this projector with the sharpest videos, you can play from a 4K dongle, 4K box, or a console, and you're going to really enjoy the sharpness of the video. In this video, I haven't pushed the brightness to get the brightness level into the max, like I told you, but I pushed the sharpness at the 80%. You're going to witness that because it got a little soft around the texts. If you're not going to project too much of an Excel file text on this, if you're going to use it casual watching movies, and also playing video games casually, this will get the job done and you'll be happy with the results. But around the corners, there is a softness issue, and you're going to see it in the end of the video. You're going to see it on the dedicated latency section. You can stop the video, check the latency, what's on the monitor, what's on the projector side of things. I wasn't expecting this much of a sound out of this device. It really performs quite well on the sound. In this video, you're probably going to hear a little bit of sound sampling, but basically it gets the job done. And for the size of this thing, it really acts as a Bluetooth dedicated speaker on the Bluetooth mode. That's a plus. So isn't there any minus stuff, like everything positive about it? Like, it's not probably dust proof. There's a filter around this side, and you're going to see it in the box content section. I will shut the close-ups. But probably it doesn't have the closed section, so it might get the dust, so keep it clean as high as possible. And the image, if you use a little bit of angle, that angle around the corner, this lens is getting softer, like I said. And if you project with an angle and correct it with the vertical keystone adjustment here, or four-corner keystone, trapezoid keystone correction, then you got yourself corners even softer. Because when you're, moving the visual like this and try to correct it digitally, you got to use the corner of the lens, and corners of this lens is even softer. So I would highly recommend just project straight as possible. So place it in a place that you will be right away 90 degree to the screen as always. And I made a dedicated video about this. So I believe I've covered everything about this projector. Positives or negatives are on the screen. Everything could be acceptable for less than $100 when I say about it. And you're going to see 85-inch and 100-inch image sizes in this video. I wouldn't recommend going higher than 100-inch. Definitely for the full HD, even with the expensive ones. But high-end projectors can get up big sizes. If you go back, you don't realize it. So it depends on the distance. It depends on what you're going to use it for. But would I recommend this projector for the price range? Yes, depending on the purpose of your usage scenario. I would use it for a bedroom. I would use it for a child's room. I wouldn't be using this for a dedicated cinema room setup. I would go much more expensive, like 2 times at least, to get a sharper image. Sharpness is important stuff for me. But brightness level and overall sharpness and picture equality and the contrast is quite good considering the price range. I know I repeated a lot of stuff considering the price range. tagging, but basically it is what it is for the price range. So would I buy this? If I'm on a tight budget, I would buy this. What would I buy if I have more budget? I would spend 2 times and I would go secondhand or brand new, maybe 2.5 times. But basically, I'm talking a lot of budget chains here. So let's get you to the review section. I will be leaving you, but don't skip any parts. This will be a long video, I know. In the beginning, I told you everything, so you can't stop here, but I would like you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because I spend a lot of time, instead of enjoying my own time with my own 4K projectors, just reviewing stuff, and I'm not getting paid too much. So as a professional guy, I'm doing it as a hobby. So I hope you enjoy the content. Hope to see you in the next video. You can watch the entire video if you're going to purchase this device. Everything could be acceptable in the price range. Keep that in mind. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye. In this section of the video, I'm going to take a look at the box and the content, of course, just like it arrives to you. On the front, we don't have too much of a thing except for the branding, and at the back we got, let me just show you the text close-up. This says ABS material, Blitzwolf V8, and we got the input power supply EU plug. This is my version, Full HD, 280 amps lumen. On the declaration of their web page, it is 480 from the Banggood, but basically on the box, and I'm going to measure it all the way, don't worry about it. And the projecting distance, that's a nice touch. 1.5 to 5 meter, 50 to 200 inch. So to achieve 500 inch, you need like 5 meters. So basically for 1.5, from 1.5 meters, you got 50 inches. That's nice to have. So from 2.5 meters, you got a 100 inch basically. So that's probably what everyone will be focusing on, 100 inch around. And I will tell you maybe why in the future coming parts of this video. So when you open the top, this is my mistake. I just reversely installed this, but show you, this is the brick part. Let me just open it up. Okay, this box includes remote control, and we're going to take a look at this power cable. And normally remote control comes inside of a package like this. Okay, I'm going to take it on the side, and when you hold the box and put it like this, to be careful, we got the projector out, and we got a protective foam. That's good. We got a thick, as you can see, this is a quite thick, considering my finger size. This is a very big user manual. I never seen anything this detailed for a long time, and I'm going to taking a look at a couple of the pages, but that's a nice user manual. Since these devices are smart, detailed user manuals are always welcome. So what's inside of this, what's going to come out? So when I hold it, this is the projector, and this is the rest of the box content. It looks simple, and it's just one hand size device. This is not big, but this is not extremely small either. So on the front, we got a silicone cover. That's a nice touch. I haven't seen these for a while. And we got a focus ring here. Let me just get close. As you can see, it goes out like this. It goes out quite a lot, actually. I wasn't expecting that. And when you put it in, it just stays there. And we got a 2-finger and a little bit, maybe a small finger, like 2.5 finger size glass. Glass looks good from the outside, but the focus mechanism feels like low budget, like it's kind of like little moving, but it could be acceptable for the price. And for the price range, it's better than the $75 to $85 version projectors out there that they call themselves cheap, but actually compared to this, they're getting a lot worse on the quality, and we're going to talk about this. So this is, considering the price, physically looks good until now. On the top, we got a brushed surface. This is a plastic surface, but in the texture and detail, as you can see, this is a brushed aluminum style looking plastic painted surface. What this is, actually, this moves the lens back and forth and corrects the vertical distortion. So it's like a vertical automatic keystone, kind of like physical button, and it really works. And we got return button, left, right, OK, and probably settings and the power. This could be also OK button, and this is kind of like acting. If you single press back, acts as a back button. So at the back, what do we have? We have a sensor for remote control probably, and we got 2 points probably for the speakers, and I'm going to check that. And we got a power input, which I really love these cables because you can find the cheaper and longer versions if you want to place this projector high levels, but basically this is a long cable, and that's a good touch. And on the left, this is one of the most important parts. We can see the cooling here, and this side doesn't show cooling, but this feels like an open space. So over the time, I don't see there's a dust proofing, and I'm going to check the product description too. Again, we got a HDMI, we got USB port, we got micro SD card slot, we got headphone jack, and we got AV in probably, or probably in. This is in, this is out. And this is VGA point, but it's not opened. As you can see, this is plastic covered. And on the front, we got sensor point again. That's a plus. If you go in front of the projector and want to use the remote, which is basically infrared, not a Bluetooth one. If you go budget, that's normal. But having a 2 sensor point is smart. Otherwise, some of the projectors doesn't get the signal from the front. You hate them and you gotta go back. That's a bad thing. Or you might wanna, bounce back the signal from a wall to hit the projector at the back. That's also again bad. But this is good. Good thinking. And on the front, we got a surface with a texture. Let me just try to focus my hands and show you a little bit. If you see the textures, you'll let me know at the comment section. And if I can get it close, as you can see from the Blitzwolf, there is a texture. And the font and logo looks good. So that's about it from the top and the sides. What about the bottom? So we got a 1/4 inch screw hole. This thing is small considering my hand size. It's about 24 centimeter, like from corner to corner. Probably we're going to see some filter here. I'm going to get into that. And when we look at this, as you can see, we got BWV8 again, and that's about it. We got a height adjustment, which is good, and I will show you. We got 4 silicone or rubber feet, and this thing is staying on the place when you put it on, and it's not too light either. So it's not a light device, although it looks like lighter device. When you hold it, you feel the weight. So good, feels good on that. And I'm going to take this out. Just take a look at this. Just like a bigger projectors in the market just can create quite a bit of angle, this is the length of the screw, and I think it's helping this projector a lot, because these budget projectors tend to throw straight, but when you hold them up, you can at least create a good eye level image, in my opinion, and it's important. As you can see, it really creates around, when you look at from the side, it really creates a placement, an angle, good angle. So this is the physical abilities, and let me show you the remote control. We got every kind of like ways, 4 ways, up and down, left and right, source button, power button, home, return, menu, and volume up and volume up, down, and of course in the middle, mute button. That's a plus. And when we hold it up, these are my batteries. Device doesn't come with the battery, so you have to find yourself a 2 AAA, and that's about it. This is the physical part of the V8. I'm very sorry that I forgot to show you before the physical section the filtering system. It doesn't come off easily if you don't have nails like me, so I'm going to use a knife because it's a little tough. It doesn't come out easily. It's very feeling secure. That's plus on my side. And it's quite a high density filter. Let's take a look at this, how much you see my finger at the back, or this. So basically this is quite a bit of dense filter. it really feels it's going to protect the device from the dust a lot. But again, like I told you, this is not a closed shell design probably, but for the price, it could be acceptable. Nice touches around the physical abilities of this device. And we're going to continue to the test section. Welcome to review in detail section. I am sorry to say that my microphone is out, and right now I am doing a voiceover over entire review video. But don't worry, this will be fun because I'm going to be probably able to do more jokes about the stuff that really matters. So, as you can see right now, this is a lit room, and at the back you got my 65-inch LG 816 QNET TV, and it's quite bright and hitting the screen of white screen that I got. And also the ambient lights of Philips Hue strips and the bulbs are open. So with the ambient light, this really looks, again, with the white screen, quite good. And I've closed the ambient lights, as you see, and the TV together. So you got, right now the ambient lights are still open, but the TV is gone, and it adds a lot, and the room lights are dim. Image size is 85-inch. What is the real matter of this? I probably shot the videos with many sections and started with 85-inch, and then I go to 100-inch in the upcoming sections. But basically 85-inch can be usable like a TV in a dark room setup. This device has quite a bit of brightness. I'm going to tell you all about it because I measured it with my measurement tool, and in reality it performs 251.75 or 252 NC lumen, which is quite a lot if you ask me. On the declaration on the box it says 280 NC lumens. It's very close to that, and I have measured this value in the default mode itself, so it wasn't pushed to the edges. Let's talk about the menu. I was giving the details, and you're going to see it. In the beginning, you see on the left search menu, and when you hit the search without writing anything, you got yourself Amazon Prime and Firefox, Plex, Kodi, Netflix, VLC, Player, and TED and DAZ, and kind of like different apps. So main issue is having the player of VLC, and also you're going to see it in a minute probably. A file browser is quite good thing. On the top you got good logos. This is basic Android unlicensed version probably. So most of the manufacturers from different brands are using similar setup. It looks cool, and right now it's Android 11. It works very fast. The most important part is interface is very fast. I haven't had this much of a speedy experience with any of the projectors that I got for this price range. So that is interesting to see. But again, like I told you, we don't have a Google Play and we don't have a proper licensing. So you're going to probably using this device multimedia video programs in a lower resolutions like a mobile license. App Store means with the file manager you can install APK files to this device, but basically you don't have a Google Play proper license, and that'll probably extend the cost of this device. That is why this device is cheaper considering the licensed models in the market, but that might not be a problem for you. For me, I am using to watch to YouTube, screencast in general with these sort of casual projectors, and I connect my Xbox or PlayStation to this to add basically everything I need. But internally, as you can see, file manager is very good, and right now I hit the Bluetooth speaker mode, and when you hit it, it turns itself as a Bluetooth speaker, so you can pair it with any Bluetooth supported device. So at the bottom, what do we see? VPS projector. VPS projector tend to use with presentations. If you have a PowerPoint, Excel, or Word file, if you're ever going to use this device as a business purpose, well, probably this is not that intent to do such a stuff, but you can do it. That's a nice touch. You got Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Netflix, and Kodi. And again, these are licensed in general Android, meaning of any probably one in the market. Like I told you, this is an unlicensed product without a Google Play. But again, it's not a problem as long as everything works fluid like this. I can accept, I can live with that. And having the ability to install any app you want from APK files, that's a nice touch. So when you go to the video section, you got like Vimeo, movies, entertainment, kids, sports, life, and some video recommendations, kind of like latest news and stuff. This is for looks of the things. Like you can probably change them in when you play. And when you go to the music, Shazam, and apps like TuneIn, Amazon Music, Deezer, or MTV, kind of like Gaana, kind of like apps. And when you go to the settings, this is probably will be one of the most important sections. And I am talking, I don't know right now what I said. Let's go to the settings. Come on, let's go to the settings. Well, sometimes when you say videos are longer, I realize when I do voiceovers like this. So this section is general and comes with icons and simple. I don't know what they put Wi-Fi hotspot, because this device is using Wi-Fi, not an internal 3G or 5G SIM card, but there is one place. I don't know if it can pass through the Wi-Fi. When you go to the Bluetooth settings, you can pair up with new devices, and when you add Bluetooth headphones, earbuds, you can watch movies without disturbing anyone inside of a room, maybe kids room, maybe bedroom, and you can watch any movie as you go. When you go to the projection section, you got projection method like front, rear, and front rear, again reversed for ceiling mount and reversed for the ceiling mount setup, again to the back projection from the front projection. So you can put this thing easily on anywhere you like with the screw hole at the bottom of it, like a ceiling mount. And as you can see right now, I am using the keystone. Digitally, keystone is a good thing to have, and you got a lot of options. As you can see right now, I'm pushing the limits. And when you go out from that, you got yourself a zoom level. Right now it's 100, and I'm going down. The screen size in this stage was 85 inch. As you can see, it goes quite small and quite big. That is a digital zooming, but if you place the projector on the ceiling, that could be useful for watching TV series. You go small, and then you can come up with the big idea. So in the About section, you're going to see a projector name, not a device special name, and version 11 for Android, I suppose. But this is a basic ROM probably everybody uses. When you hit update, right now it doesn't have an update, but the security update is February 5, 2022, which is a good date for security regulations. And my Xiaomi Ultra Short Throw 4K didn't have Android 11. That's a nice touch. It was Android 9 and it never got an update on my life cycle while I was using it. For the date, time, set time and zone, you're going to see the time right now. When you go to the language, you got huge amount of options like any Android device, and you can hit the reset. And when you go to the settings, network settings, Bluetooth settings, apps are the things that we visited. And when you go to the device settings, and probably I'm going to try again, About is the same with the last time. Date and time is the same. When you go display, here you got yourself a picture menu. I think the picture menu should be somewhere much more higher on the reachability. I think this is a little bit of deep. As you can see, smart picture mode, HDMI PC mode, preset mode, dynamic backlight off right now, DCI in the middle, and black extension is low. I am going to change a little bit of the settings in this section, but definitely I will have to do this in an upcoming section, because it's not like you can see what the difference is, because of the background menu is similar or very similar colors. So to do proper color toning of what you're watching, you should give HDMI signal to this device, because I've tested so far, when you hit the settings button, this happens. You have to go these menus one to another, step by step. But if you want to see a picture moving at the back and adjust to that picture when you give only, you can do this only in the HDMI signal mode. So if you can connect your Xbox or anything from HDMI, you can put a movie on where you know the colors and tones. You can adjust the levels and preset depending on your choice. That is the most important part. I wish there was a chance to adjust colors on internal Android. Yes, you can in this menu, but basically when you do, you don't have a proper image at the back. And I push the sharpness and the colors of this projector inside of the menu. Most of the time I push the sharpness as much as I can, like 70 to 80%. And about the options menu in the settings, doesn't have too much. And I think this is the entire menu and it's finished. So I am hitting the YouTube. When I hit the YouTube, you're going to see some light leak at the bottom and the top. And that's the thing that could happen with the black scenes. But basically, when in the sub scenes, you don't see stuff. The Android is very fluent. You can clearly see how fast I move my cursor and how fast I go back and forth inside of the things that I write down and apply. So this was really impressive. I wasn't expecting this much of a speed out of an entry-level priced product. So I've opened up an LG OLED demo. And when you go to the settings, this is a full HD image right now. Internally, it can play full HD without problem. That's a nice touch. I haven't felt any drop frame. Everything feels fluent, like the menu itself. So I think they made a good ROM to this device, or at least they got a default good ROM for this device. So you can clearly see a lot of contrast, but I'm shooting in the auto mode of the HDR of this camera. So in the second section, I got in front of the camera just to show myself to you guys. I am there. But jokes aside, I am closer to the screen because I want to mention overall picture quality in this scene. This is a quite colorful and sharp video to test OLED TVs for LG and probably many of the OLED and QNED TVs. But when you look at the icons on the left and the right and the text, when you look at the video, you will love the picture quality. This is kind of like a soft image. Depending on the price, all this could be acceptable. So as you can see in the menu, but when you take a good close look at the sharp texts, you clearly see they are softer. So if you're picky about the softness, if you're going to project Excel files, texts, and small images, then you might consider something sharper than this. But for something sharper than this, you have to pay probably 70 to 80% more, maybe even 2 times more money. Let's go to the picture settings. And again, I'm showing you the brightness, sharpness, as I push the sharpness to the 80. Yeah, that's good. I'm probably going to push the colors to the 60, 61. Yes, I did. I don't touch the brightness, contrast, and the tint. Reason that I don't touch the brightness, I don't want to kill the dynamic range of the device. If you push too much of a brightness in the black levels, it could hurt along the way of the picture quality. And as you can see, if I push the colors and overall sharpness, this image really shines in my opinion. Again, considering the price range, when you go left and right, and you're going to see in a dedicated section, but as you can see, under the settings, quality text and small auto and full HD resolution information texts are softer. Considering the center image and the picture, this has soft on the right and on the left, around the edges and the corners. So for the texts, you realize what a, let's just say, entry-level product, what a mid-range product, and what a high-end product is. This device is delivering quite a good picture considering the price. So we are less than $100. That's an important information to not to forget about it. Meanwhile, I am doing a real-time voiceover. Probably I myself continue talking about probably the softness and who is this kind of like for. But before the end of the conclusion part, well, you can't go wrong with this price and the performance. Like if you go below like $50 to $75 projectors, I won't recommend it. Like sharpness difference huge. This is basically very sharp compared to the 55, 65, 75 up to $80 products. But for the price, you can't really catch up to the higher models. And brightness level is also one of the issues. Like this is properly over 250 ANSI lumen projector. And when I say that, you might be thinking that it might not be bright enough. It is. For a dark room, you can easily use it in a 100 inch. What if you do 85 like me, you will get a pretty TV style brightness, considering, of course, the price. But in a small room with an 85 to 90 inch, this will shine and you won't be disappointed, I can tell you that. I'm not saying this is going to get you the sharpest image or the best image, but possibly with the HDR, toning, gamma settings and adjustments and overall everything and the brightness, you're going to love it. And when you think about the brightness, you might think like, hey, these guys are declaring higher, but everybody does. So consider this, even my Epson projector did perform around 78% and it was priced $1,600. So it's not about the money. Everybody is telling higher numbers, so brands are doing similar. In this section, I guess I've changed the image size into the 100 inch. I'm going to check that again. I guess I did. So probably I'm giving the signal from Xbox Series X. Some of the footage is Xbox Series X connected through HDMI, and I am giving 4K YouTube footages. If you have a chance to get the best out of any projector, give the projector the best signal or best video, detailed video as possible. Of course, the texts are going to be the same in the menu while I travel, but when I play the videos, if I give more texture, detail, and sharpness, quality inside, even inside the resolution of Full HD, if I play 4K footage, you can see sharper drops of water on these fruits, as you can see, or you can see ground texture and also teapot texture because I'm giving 4K footage. That is one of the most important parts. And the contrast of this projector with the HDR mode, quite good, and it really catches the highlight. Again, considering the price range, I wasn't expecting that, so you can tune it up. So right now it's in the full HD mode, like I told you, and you can give it a 4K signal in upcoming minutes or seconds. I will probably go to the Xbox, don't worry. I will also play some games and consider all this. So no worries there. I'm waiting, just like you, to see what's going to happen in this review. So sorry for some of the repetition, but basically it's very difficult to create the same video again, to create the same environment, making the cabling and stuff, because I'm shooting at home and the studios. I'm shooting a lot of stuff for different purposes. So I'm a quite busy guy in the daytime. I've shot this video late at night, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video. So let's go to another video. I probably tried something natural to show you, and let's take a look. Yes, the menu is quite fast. That's really, again, even watching my own video just made me realize this is a very fast menu. And YouTube, I haven't seen anything for this price range moves this fast with Android. You might achieve this with a Linux, but with Android, it's more difficult. So again, we got a texture, color, and also detail shots. Again, another commercial. Well, I don't like the commercials, but hit it again. So as you can see, the texts showing the sharpness of the edges, but these scenes are acting quite good. And frustratingly, another commercial. but you can see some text softness. So I got into the menu for you guys and go to the settings. In this section, I'm going to probably mention when you hit the menu, you go to the settings, and from the settings you go to the device preferences, and from that you go to the display, just to reach out the presets and the colors and tones. I think it's very long way to apply, and to do that easily, all we have to do is basically connect this device to a HDMI video source and hit the settings button from the remote. Otherwise, it will take huge amount of cycling in the menu, and also you don't have a visual to map the toning, like tune the tones and the sharpness as your taste goes, because the background menu has a lot of similar colors. So in this scene, I am switching the Xbox Series X finally. I'm happy Xbox is sending full HD signal. Some might be thinking about, hey, this device has 4K decoding. Well, this device identifies itself full HD resolution, so that when you go to the Xbox Series X menu, you can't change that into the 4K footage, 4K settings. So I couldn't made my Xbox 4K inside of the menu, giving the 4K signal through the HDMI to Blitzwolf V8. So in this section, I'm going to play videos. By the way, this section, the image size is about, again, if I recall it right, 100 inch. So this is the Skyforce game. It's a casual game. In this section, I think it's right time to say the latency. This device, I measured it around 140 to 165, 68 milliseconds of delay. But in this section, first time that I shot this section, I thought this was really casually usable projector. I haven't felt the choppy effect or extreme latency. But basically, when I'm going to show you in a couple of probably minutes, when I played the racing game, the Forza, I realized that the latency is quite a lot. So it depends on what you look at, like how many things that you look at in the same time, how much fast-paced the game is, but you can't really play from 140 plus milliseconds delay if you are anyway competitor. But again, I didn't have any issue with the Tomb Raider because it's a big game. The character is big. It's like a movie. But when you turn around the camera faster as I go along, if I did that in this section, no. But when I move around, you can see some of the choppiness effect, some of the being late. But in this type of games, if you don't have side action like something falling over you, or you're going to pass the road signs when you're driving, kind of like stuff, you're not going to feel the latency. It doesn't have a choppy effect. I don't know how they managed it, but basically you don't have an extremely problem. So kids can play casual games like Uncharted, maybe Assassin's Creed, or let's just say Pac-Man, or some sort of basic racing. You won't be having trouble like playing the Need for Speed Unbound, just like in this video. But take a good close look at around. And I'm shooting this video 24K, some of the choppiness about that, but latency and the blur effect around the corners are disturbing. Even when you go fast, you got more choppy. So that's normal for 140 to 160 plus delay. And you're going to have a dedicated section in this video, in the end probably, slow motion recorded from laptop and the projector, that just to show you the latency level, so you can check yourself stopping the video in different place of that slow motion footage. So I think I like the picture quality in the Need for Speed. So let's go back. What am I going to do? I'm just wondering. Again, this is the stage that I play 4K YouTube. I know My Xbox Series X is a little slow on things right now in this mode. Let's play something. OLED demo. And what do we have in the OLED demo? I am playing breathtaking natural 8K Earth footage and checking the video quality. As you can see, this is real 4K YouTube video, but probably I'm going to go forward to show you something sharp. Yes, here it is. This image is perfectly sharp, in my opinion, quite usable. Like when I say quite usable, I'm talking about like proper bulb or big projector style like sharpness. But to do that, you have to give it a 4K signal. The internal and combination with this price projector lens has got soft image. I'm repeating myself, I know, but basically this is going to be what you get for what you paid. And you'll be happy with the results, don't worry. And it is Spider-Man 4K game recording. So I probably shot this section to give you an idea about how the games will perform. And as you can see with the 60p footage, it doesn't feel bad. You don't, of course, see the latency because you're not giving an input like playing game. This is like a movie, but this will get you some sort of an idea, give you some sort of an idea if you play casual games like Spider-Man, Uncharted series, Last of Us, or something like anything like Tomb Raider from third-person view with a little bit of casual environment. I think this is really enjoyable picture. And quite detailed if you ask me. So again, this was a 4K footage, and I think this section is over. Right now, what I'm going to show you is going to be probably one of the most important parts. I'm going to show you my laptop screen, where I test, probably in a couple of seconds, I will test the latency. But as you can see, this is the text sharpness in 100 inch. So normally for the full HD, this shouldn't be having this level of ghosting and edge softening. But considering the price, this could be acceptable. Like if you pay around $200 and plus, you will have much sharper image than this. But again, this price that I'm talking about is 2 times and maybe even more higher than this device budget. When you go to the edges, you'll see the softness level, and that is probably most important part of this video. So around the corners and at the bottom, I'm going to show you, as you can see, the timings. This is late at 1 a.m. This is sick. I am really tired in this video. And again, making the voiceover at 12 late at night. I'm tiring myself again. So this section, I believe, has shown you enough. And in this section, you can stop the video to check out the latency levels. And this section, when this section finishes, I will stop my voiceover recording and probably add another section to finish the video. In this section, you're going to see how I test things. And right now the microphone is not from my chest, but basically I am shouting. I know there is an echo. I'm going to play the video, and the camera and the microphone that we have, like omnidirectional microphone, will be placed around 60 centimeters. You won't be sticking your head to the projector, so you're going to get a clear idea. It really matches around, let's just say, Womble X2, maybe T2 max level, but little less bass, but it gets the job done, in my opinion. And you're going to hear the noise of the fan, but since my voice is on here right now, the camera and the microphone tuned to auto, so you're going to probably hear a little bit of fan noise. I'm going to share the technical information, like the noise level that I measured from the same distance that is coming from the fans. So you're going to have a decibel idea of this device. So without further ado, I'm going to be leaving you with the audio recordings.